build a community around your brand that you see for yourself. Somebody can think my graphics are good, but are you good for the brand? You can't say you work with Royalty Made It if you don't align with the brand. You have to get clear on making sure that everything is in alignment with each other.
A part of my brand, I want to be a brand that's high integrity. So I'm gonna be in them comments responding if I do get them. Also, I want my brand to be seen as a clean brand. When you go to my website, it's not gonna be choppy looking. It's not gonna be slow. The colors aren't gonna be everywhere. I'm not gonna have blue, green, orange, and purple. Have some type of unity, little stuff like that just shows that you took the extra step in making sure that your stuff, your art is perceived as a high brand.
What are you not doing? And think about, okay, what do I need to do in order to start being perceived this way? Your competition shouldn't be the person like next to you. Your competition, I'm trying to be as big as Gucci, bigger than Gucci. My competition is Gucci.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the Growing Painz podcast, where we talk about business and the life of a young adult. You feel me? I'm Tre'Vion.
I'm Yana.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jada. Can we get like some horns that go like, blah, 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 blah.
This is not Drink Champs. I'm sorry.
Add some life to the episode, you know.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. But anyways, so
how's life?
That's so organic.
Nah, life is cool though.
Yeah, like
exactly.
Life
I can't ask
cool.
how's life.
Life is cool. Life is.
You feeling good? You feeling blessed?
Yeah. I feel like I was tested today though, because I started off having a bad day.
Yeah.
When I come around y'all and Zell and stuff like that, it'd be like
That's real.
I feel like the devil been trying me, and then just be like, I don't care.
No, for real.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie. You've been
She
through
been
some
I didn't even tell you this girl. Did I tell you? I think I did. This girl just like this little Caucasian child. She just hit my car the other day, and I told you that.
I think so.
I don't know, but she hit my car the other day. And I was just so chill, and there was a black lady outside when it happened, and she's just going off on this little white girl. I could tell she was 16, but then she gave me her license. I was like, yeah, she's 16. And she's going off talking about that B ain't innocent.
Really?
You need to call the police on her. She trying to act all innocent. And I'm just so chill, like, it's cool. Like, bruh.
What? So what happened? She was backing up.
I was inside. She hit my car while I was parked. And it's like, bruh, I remember when I was 16, I got in my first accident.
He was running through grandma, so.
I was not 16 when that happened, so. But this white man was like outside yelling at me because I hit his car, and I was so scared. And this girl, her hands, she's shaking, bruh. And I'm like, she not even probably shaking because she hit my car. She probably shaking because this black lady just yelling at her. Like, I'm like, bruh.
So you just let her off with a pass?
Well, no. So her mom was like, I'll just send you the money. The area where my seamstress studio is in, it's like, it's an area that has money. But she was just like, I'll send you the money. Like, just let me know. Like, text me how much it is. But she said you can still have all the information if you want to do a police report. Yeah. That way you can have something. So they gave me everything I needed. But we're letting you know, like, we'll just pay for it all. And so I was like, cool.
At least you getting paid.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's just been so much things like happening. Like my patterns for my gyro jeans, those got like stolen/lost.
Stolen?
Well,
like the literal
pattern? The patterns, meaning like, okay, if I was a chef, a pattern is like equal to a recipe. So you use the same recipe to keep making the same meal over and over.
Somebody stole it online?
But no, like the actual physical, it's it's like little cutouts. And so they got like stolen, but it was my fault, not paying attention. But that happened. The original gyro jeans and like that blue corset top that I have, like the big one, that got lost in the mail. And my response to everything has just been like, Well, like with the patterns, I was like, I made them once, I can make them again. When the stuff got lost in the mail, I was like, I made it once, I can make it again. Like when the stuff happened with my car, I was like, oh well, now my car is getting fixed. Like someone had did a hit and run on me, and the 16-year-old hitting my car had made it worse. But I was like, oh, well now my stuff is getting fixed. Like I just have been looking at everything with the most positive view, bruh. Yep. And so it's just like, bruh, it just showed me life is gonna life. Things are gonna happen, but it literally just depends like how you view it. And I was talking to someone and they were like, you know, how you're responding to everything is literally planting seeds. Like she was like, because you're responding to everything with such a positive response right now, that in whatever, a couple months from now, you're going to reap the fruit of that because you stayed in that positive place the whole time. Even today, this morning, I felt like this depression wanted to come over me. As soon as I opened my eyes, and I literally will sometimes wake up depressed like before. As soon as I felt it, it immediately, like I felt a sense of depression. I immediately woke up, like snapped out of like my half sleep. And I just started praying over. I said, oh no, that's not allowed here. Like literally anything that's trying to come my way to like throw me off, I just literally release it, pray over it, all of that. And it's just like, this is so cool.
That's good because I look at it like you walking in your authority. Like although all of this is happening, the pressure come up on you. No, you're not welcome here. Get out.
Exactly.
Something happens. Okay, I'm walking in my authority. I know that my father going to pay this. I know my father got my back. He's going to fix my car. I'm not tripping about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
it's like, you won't break my soul. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was tested today by a few people, and it almost shifted my mood, but then I had to realize that these spinning chairs make me my ADHD.
No, because I'm over here.
It's like, stay still. Real quick. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Tap in,
twin. Take a 5-second break and go subscribe.
Exactly. We got so much on our channel, y'all. We got vlogs, we got challenges, we got silent library, we got everything. So what are you doing? Like, go subscribe right now.
What are you doing?
Go
subscribe.
Stand on business. Go stand on business.
Stand on business, yeah.
Let's get back into the episode.
What was I gonna say? I almost got tested today because, you know, certain people, you just gotta start to let them know how to treat you and not speak to you any kind of way or different things like that. And I'm not a confrontational person, but when you keep repeating the same pattern and stuff, and I start to like feel like I'm tolerated and not appreciated, then that's when the line gets drawn for me. So now I have to speak up for myself. And so, I had a tough conversation with somebody and I almost let it shift my day. But then I had remembered this episode that I had watched on E.T.'s podcast, or not his podcast. He was like speaking or something. Yeah. And he was saying to stay in character. No matter what it is, don't allow people to get you out of your character or, you know, pull emotions out of you that you don't need. If you have a habit, a lack of discipline by not staying in character, now whatever it is that's controlling you, you're the like puppet of that in a sense. And so I had to realize like, bro, I'm not about to let somebody determine how the whole day goes for me. And I just had to take a moment, breathe, listen to some music. I wanted to curse them out, but it's just like,
what happened?
I'd rather not speak about it, but
I think you should speak about it.
I think I shouldn't.
I'm playing.
So that was what happened. It was just a conversation. That was funny. He talked about nah, he shouldn't. But so it was just a conversation, and I just had to realize that, you know, whether or not seasons change, and so whether or not somebody from a past season, whether the relationship looks different within the new season that you're walking into, you still have to be who you are. You still have to be confident in the direction that you're being led in. And so,
that's real.
Now I'm just going with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. But I know I'm going to be good regardless. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And so it's not really nothing that's going to change that direction for me.
That's good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, like for me,
you was about to move on without figuring about her life?
Right. Do you not care?
She clearly don't care.
She don't care.
She said, all right, so.
Next topic. I'll say life for me, I've been getting way more focused.
That's good.
I feel like I'm coming out of a season of me being inconsistent. Of course, it's still, it's always going to be a work in progress, right? But I find myself being even more intentional now. The way I manage my time, the way I spend my money, what I'm doing throughout the day. Is my focus everywhere, or am I specifically getting things done?
Yeah.
Even me writing throughout my planner before the week starts, being intentional on getting that stuff done, being intentional on how I start my Mondays, because now I'm really realizing the way I start my Mondays is the way the rest of my week is going to go. If I have a bad or unproductive Monday, that's it for that week, unfortunately, but that's just something I noticed about myself.
Yeah.
So I find myself being more focused in this season, and I'm so thankful for it, because even some things I would worry about, like I would say even 2 months ago, because I'm just now entering the season, but some stuff I would be consciously thinking about or worrying about or trying to do, I find myself not even being worried about that no more, because it's like that doesn't align with where I'm going. So I don't need to be thinking about that right now. Like I need to focus on where I'm going. So yeah, I find myself having more productive days, getting back on track with like just life, and really I would call it getting out of a slump, really. I find myself really getting out of a slump because some things then happened, some rocks then came my way, but I'm thankful for it because I learned it, and now we just get better.
For sure. Period. I could see it. I seen you walking in here like a strong black woman with your cowgirl bag, and you was holding
my little cowgirl bag.
Your head held high.
Yes.
Strong black woman.
Right.
I love that though. Period.
I'll take it though.
Exactly.
Strong black queen.
But yeah. So did you have a question for us?
Okay. You had a story, or that was your story about?
No. Well, I was gonna ask a question, but I think this is like
a good.
Yeah. So we could go into growing topics.
Well, let's get into growing topics where we give advice to young adults growing through life.
Yeah.
Jada is the topic. Jada got a topic, right?
No.
Question?
Trey does.
Okay.
So the topic is, y'all just seen the Super Bowl. Now, me personally, I don't watch sports. Only sports I watch is boxing. That's my favorite sport.
Okay.
That's what I did for a couple years. So we're not technically talking about who is playing, though. The Chiefs and the 49ers. Yeah, so we're not talking about the Chiefs and the 49ers, but we're going to talk about this marketing and these sponsors and these brand deals that are pushing the products that they have through the influence of celebrities and different people like that. So as y'all know, the halftime show, Usher, he performed and he had Alicia Keys up there. Beyonce, she had her own commercial. Ice Spice had her own commercial. So really the topic of discussion for the whole Super Bowl is when there's big moments like this and you have an opportunity to promote your product and your brand, how do you benefit from it all the way, 100%?
Repeat the question one more time.
How do you benefit from marketing your brand in a full way? How do you benefit from marketing your brand in a productive way? Something that you'll actually gain from it. Like, for example, last year, Rihanna, she performed. She didn't drop no music after. She just had a playlist. This time, you got to post. This time, Usher, when he performed, he had his tour dates ready. He did a few interviews.
Okay.
What else did he have going? He performed on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he dropped his album after.
Oh yeah, he dropped his album as well. So yeah, tour dates. He performed at the Super Bowl and he has his album out.
So like being strategic with how you do.
Yeah.
How do you handle like an influx of attention to your brand?
Yeah, and although
that's a good question.
Rihanna didn't promote music, she still had.
She promoted
Savage
a baby.
Fenty. Yeah, no, but she had Savage Fenty.
Promoted a baby is a lot.
She did promote a baby, but she also had Savage Fenty and she held it up and put it on her lips during the halftime show.
I like that. I would say, so handling, that's a good question. Because even I'm thinking back when I would get an influx of like a video goes viral, right? So I'll say specifically talking from an online point of view, because I haven't really, I would say I feel more comfortable giving advice from that point of view because that's what I've experienced most. When being intentional, right? So when you get these views or you get an influx of people watching or a video goes viral or something happens in real life, right? What do you want to come out of that. So for me, I have a clothing brand. So if a video is going viral, my intention is to let you know I have shirts. That's my intention. Trey, if a video goes viral for him, picture, you be editing your pictures. If a picture's going viral, his intention is going to be, I do graphics. Jada, her video's going viral. It's just not going viral because it's going viral. People are interested in her intention, which is her pants. So for me, I would do little stuff like putting it in the comments and pinning it, or putting it at the end of the video, like link in bio. And even some videos, I don't even have the intention of like marketing the shirts. Some videos, I really just only want you to know about God. Like I have no type of intention about this. I'm literally just talking about God. Whatever you get from this, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But so with that, it'll be, just, those videos I really don't be having an intention. I just do it to genuinely give. But yeah, for the other videos, then I have a product.
Sure. And I agree. Some posts that I make that I want people to share, they're not always to get clients.
Yeah.
Some of them are just to make you aware of the brand, or know, I'm working with this person. I'm also working with this person. And those videos, those points, I wouldn't say they don't have intention, but they just build brand awareness.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how I take advantage of those moments. And then, as you said, like with posting the pictures and stuff, that's my new lane of posting pictures. And that's actually helped my brand, having more of a structure rather than just posting Growing Painz clips all the time on my page. So now people know, he's going to do a dope edit when he take these pictures. And so how would I say to take advantage of the moment? Make sure your back end is done for real. That's my only thing that I would say, is to make sure your back end is done, because the more money you make, it's only going to increase how you manage your taxes, how you manage, what is going in, what's going out, your net worth and your growth, So you have to make sure that you have all of that documented before going on something as big as the Super Bowl or having an ad and stuff.
That's real, because it's like, okay, I would say for new brand owners, right? Say their content goes viral, but they don't have a funnel on their website. People are going to your website, but you're not getting leads. You're not getting people into your, email list. So
I feel like from a business owner perspective, you do want to think, how am I going to turn all of this attention into money? And so how can I take all of these people who are seeing my brand now and actually get their information, capture their information, and now I'm able to nurture them and then eventually sell to them. And so I feel like there are like two types of moments that I guess are common when it comes to viral moments or whatever. I feel like some they're about to happen, and some they just happen randomly. So with doing something for the Grammys, I know this is about to happen. It's going to bring a lot of attention to my brand. How do I want to best take advantage of this moment? I have time to prepare. Do I want to sell similar designs that is going to be on the red carpet? Do I want to have some available on my website? Do I just want to capture the people who see this? Do I just want to capture their emails? Or when you have like things that are unplanned, so like when my content for the jeans was like doing really well, now you have to be in the mode of acting quick. So I realized, I need to have a pop-up on my website for emails, because I think before you had to like scroll to see how to join the email list. So it's like, if I'm having 1,000 people come to my website every day, I should have acted quicker. I didn't think until like the last like few days of that run, let me add a pop-up to my website. And so once I added the pop-up, I immediately got like 1,300 people on my email list from the pop-up. Now imagine if I would have did that the first 2 weeks,
What about, sorry to cut you off.
You good.
What about like the email list? Like, is that making sales, or is that just bringing people into?
Yeah, it's made sales, but it's also a strategy behind emails. So it's like, I say, if you're able to collect a bunch of emails like organically, that's great. Or like from all that viral attention, that's great. But then that still goes back to like moving quickly. Now you need to learn, how do I effectively send emails that will turn these email subscribers into actual dollars, to convert them into actual sales. And so I think that would be like my take on it is, if this is like a viral moment that you weren't prepared for, you definitely just want to act quickly and think, okay, well, I have all of these eyes on me. What should I be doing? What could I do that is going to keep them here? What can I do that's going to get them to want to follow along my journey? Like, not, oh, I posted a viral video, I'm not posting nothing else for 2 weeks. Yeah. Like, okay, what can I be posting every day? Am I responding to comments like with a video? Am I, like just literally thinking, what am I doing to add on to this?
Quick question, like to answer in a short and simple form. You had that moment, your viral moment, and then you also have your moments where, like you have your clients, you post them, then people start loving, like, oh, you did that for this person. Then they start talking about it. You get posted on Essence. So would you consider those two quick moments?
No, because I knew the stuff with
Erica.
I knew something would come from that.
Got you. Okay, then what about like
But the Painz, that's like viral moments, or even if you think about Tamron Hall.
I was gonna say, like, what about Tamron Hall? Like, how do you move in those moments?
I didn't prepare for that. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a website up by then, but I didn't. So all I had was like Instagram at that time, and I just collected followers. And with everyone that messaged me about, oh, I saw you on Tamron Hall, or they made a comment about, I saw you on Tamron Hall, I love the pants, I would just send them a DM saying, hey, I just created an email list or something along those lines. Gotcha. I just created an email list or something along those lines, and you could join my email list through XYZ or whatever. So that way, even though I didn't have a website, I'm still capturing the information of those people.
Got you. Yeah. So
we gotta make this a whole episode one day, because this is I can really talk on this for a long time.
We did it a few times. Like, remember the thing about Ice Spice when she had like the
but
so we always get into it when we talk about marketing.
Yeah. That's real.
What were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say making a whole video like explaining how to get an audience and what to do once you get the audience. I feel like that would be dope. But yeah, this was a good growing topics. Let's get back into the episode.
Yeah. So what's the topic for today?
The art of perception. So what tips? Okay, well, let's talk about it from a business point of view, right? Because I feel like it could be slightly different the way you are perceived as a person. And the way your business is perceived, right? So what tips would y'all give to somebody who maybe just be starting a business and they're trying to figure out, okay, I want to be this luxury brand, or I want to be a brand that you like, for instance, I speak from a clothing brand point of view. So like God is dope. That brand is everywhere. I wouldn't necessarily call that a luxury brand because they don't have luxury prices, but that's the way their brand is perceived. You see them everywhere. Luxury, when you see luxury brands, you can tell it's a luxury brand because of the way people wear it together. You know what I'm saying? Or people who's wearing it, what stores it's in, what areas it's in. So what tips would y'all give for a person that wants their business to be perceived a certain way?
Sure. Perception is definitely everything, and I'm starting to notice that now. Who is the brand that you said?
God is dope.
God is dope. Yeah. So you're saying that they have luxury?
Not appearance. Them. They don't really have luxury. I would say they're more so like everyday wear. So you want to throw on a shirt. Yeah.
But the perception of it is luxury, is what you're saying?
No.
So who was the brand that you?
I didn't say a specific. I would say Gucci, for instance.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, perception is definitely everything, and I noticed that over time with my brand. So it started getting to a point where all of the big content creators that I work with, the perception was, oh, you only work with big clients. And people started to perceive that my prices were super high. And this was a while ago, so don't apply to now. But people started to perceive that my prices were like extra high at the time. And this was before I knew, oh, you could charge more because of the perception of your brand. And so with that, I just realized marketing, all of that stuff, that's everything. And so your question was how to build that perception. The way I would say to build the perception is to first find somebody that you can work with and grow with at the same time. That's what you taught me. Don't try to aim for the biggest client first, because you want to make sure that you can make your mistakes and grow with that person over time. And then once you start to find out the ins and outs of your business, then you can move forward with knowing, okay, this is how I manage. Now, when you're given the experience, and this is not to make it seem like the client that you started off with, you just give them the bare minimum. You still got to give them that same energy, but y'all are able to grow together and understand each other, communicate throughout the process. And so with that, as you're growing and you're learning, now when you start to reach out to those successful people, they have successful friends, and now you can build that perception of this is who I work with. You could show that portfolio work and all of that stuff and continue to build that brand and that perception of this is a high luxury brand. I work with high level clients. I work with clients that need this service and they're doing great things in their business. So the way that I would say is working on it from a lower scale and building your way up over time, because I started off wrong. I started off with working with the biggest names first, making all the mistakes with them, and then started like working backwards. So I would definitely say like work your way up.
I agree.
Hey y'all, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
Hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GP Crew to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're going to get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
I feel that. So the question is like advice for starting entrepreneurs on
the way they want to be their business
perceived.
to be perceived.
Yeah, so I would say first you really have to get clear on how do I want to be perceived, and really like write that out, like make it very clear. If you want to be perceived as a luxury brand, what does that mean? Like, know clearly what is exactly does that mean? So, and you want to get into the details of everything, pricing, colors you use, the type of photo shoots you do. How often are you posting content with your phone versus how often are you posting content with an actual camera? Like all of those things go into perception. And so I feel like once you figure those things out, you should be able to look at that whole entire list as this is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. This is how I want to be perceived. And then compare that to where you are now. So based off of how I want to be perceived, what does my brand look like? I wanted to be perceived as a luxury brand at one point when I was doing like prom dresses, but I'm posting pictures in the corner of my little
Your room?
Makeshift sewing studio. It was a dining room. I turned into a sewing studio. I got fabric all on the floor. It looked a mess. It looked like this girl is just making dresses in her house, which isn't bad, but at least make it look like it's still luxury.
Exactly.
Like, don't have fabric everywhere, pins all on the floor while you taking this picture. Like, make it look nice, make it look presentable. And even like another good thing to do is compare yourself to the brands that you look up to. If these people are perceived as a luxury brand, what are you not doing compared to what they're doing? Right. What are you not doing in order to and what are you not doing? And think about, okay, what do I need to do in order to start being perceived this way? Like, I think we've talked about it before, but your competition shouldn't be the person like next to you, you know, like your competition shouldn't be like, oh, I know another fashion designer. That's my competition. Your competition, if I'm trying to be the next, or if I'm trying to be as big as Gucci, bigger than Gucci, my competition is Gucci. So what are they doing that I'm not doing? And that's what I need to work on.
That's real.
That's good.
That's really good advice. I was going to say that too. I would say the first step is knowing how do you want your brand to be perceived. Me, I don't have a luxury brand, nor do I want to have one. So I don't more so care about like communicating my brand in a luxury way. Yeah. Right? Because everything you do, everything you post, the way you wear your brand, is communicating the type of brand you have. So for me, my photo shoots, I have a streetwear vibe to my brand. I have a streetwear brand. That's how I want my brand to be perceived as, right? A Christian streetwear brand. So me communicating that is when I get my models, they're going to wear their hats to the side. They're going to wear cargos. They're going to wear the shirts. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the Wise Label shirt, but it might be baggy on them. Like, that's the brand of perceiving a streetwear brand. Might be outside. I might give nightlife vibes with the view, the Atlanta view. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So knowing how do you want your brand to be perceived and then communicating that through your content.
Yep.
What do you post? And then go as deep as what type of brand do you have? Okay, if you have a mental health matters type of brand, everything you post is going to communicate that you want your brand to be perceived as the brand that you go to when you want to rep mental health. Or if you want to have a brand that is Black Lives Matter, you want your brand to be perceived as that. When you're posting or anytime somebody sees it, it should say some type of Black Lives Matter. It should say something that's like, oh, that's what that brand stands for. Because that's really all perception is what does your brand stand for? What is in alignment to your brand? So
yeah, for sure. And when I see that what is in alignment to your brand, I see as graphic designers, a lot of graphic designers, some of them are not even the best of the best, but they have an ecosystem built around their brand. For example, there may be one female designer who she has a whole community of just women who love her work. It's not even the best, but she has built that brand. And so why is my voice cracking? So that's why you build a community around those people. You build a community around people who you want them to look like. When I think of Milan, she has a lot of her female women clients, they look kind of like her. They dress like her. They talk like her. They feel like her. Their energy is like her. And so I realized with graphics, if I want people to take it seriously, everyone shouldn't have access to you. Before, I used to take on project after project. But sometimes I watch The Future and they turned me down before trying to get into a mastermind just because you have to have certain standards that is met within their brand. And so that's what the point that I'm getting to is, how do I weed out the people who aren't in alignment or I don't see as a client of Royalty Made It? When I look at certain clients, the whole inconsistent habit of coming and disappearing over and over again from content, that's not the kind of content creator that I want to work with. The perception I want to have is content creators who live off of content. So with that being said, I need to now align myself with content creators like that. Are they doing a podcast? Are they creating vlogs? Are they creating entertainment videos? Are they doing challenges? And so my clients now that I see, they do challenges, they do vlogs, they do creative stuff. They don't just do what everyone else is doing. And so, so really, the end point is build a community around your brand that you see for yourself and not what just everybody. Somebody can think my graphics are good, but are you good for the brand? Do you align with the brand? You can't say you work with Royalty Made It if you don't align with the brand, because now I'm noticing that you have to get clear on making sure that everything is in alignment with each other. I'm trying to think of certain brands, like I'll go to you. How Gucci nobody can just walk into Gucci and just buy something. It's going to take a certain amount of bread in your pockets for you to be able to buy something. And it actually, it's almost like Gucci is exclusive if you don't got the funds.
It is. It's an exclusive brand. That's what it's meant to be.
For sure. Like, you can't just go in there and they're just you could just buy something for $25. You can't just go, bruh. The Future turned me down. I was sick. I was hurt. And so that junk really, I was like, dang, I got to become a high level designer in order to get into this room because I don't match right now.
But then also they have that standard because they provide that experience. When you go on Gucci, you may have to be on a wait list and stuff, but when you're not just an average customer either. When you come in, they're gonna give you water. They're gonna make sure you good. Like, it's a different type of experience. And you just walk in the thrift store and nobody walk up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Even what I noticed about just like the Future and stuff, like they push the needle for you to charge what it's worth.
Yeah.
And also, as a designer and stuff, you can't just, for what I was doing, I was just accepting it. If you want a flyer, here, you could get it for this price. But now I learned the way that the Future does their business, they ask questions. They ask the client so many questions to the point now the client knows this is exactly what I'm paying for. I'm not just paying for the design to look good. I'm not just paying for the design to be completed. I'm paying for the design to have strategic strategy into it. Why are the colors these way? That's what you mentioned. Why are the colors these way? Why is the text this way? Why are we promoting it on this day? Why does the design look like that, the font looks like that. And so that's what I realized. You just have to really be strategic in who are you talking to in your community.
And to build that community, I feel like and I know not every brand owner really I won't say really cares, but most people build brands because they like to build brands, right? Yeah. But that's why I'm such like a advocate for being a representation of your brand, being a representation of what you own. Like, for instance, all of us, like that, we walked into that room and that lady said, I could tell y'all do what y'all do. Like, y'all look like y'all align. When you building your audience, it won't be such a hassle for you to build an audience of the type of community you want to have, because you're a representation of that. You're going to attract that because that's what you are. Jada and her Jael jeans, and you having a luxury brand. You've been doing this. It's who you are. So those videos going viral, that didn't take a lot. Literally, you did a video on the fly, posted it, and it went viral. It's because that's aligned with who you are. You didn't have to do the most. You literally did it in the living room, dining room, and it went up. Me, I don't sit and stress about what I'm gonna say on my words for wise videos, or if I don't even do those. Sometimes I just talk in some videos. My YouTube videos aren't even planned out. I don't do that most for that, but because it's who I am. Yeah. My clothing brand, bro, literally I used to get my designs like this. Just read the Bible and I would get a design. That's how, because it's aligned with who I am. Trey, literally, if somebody's in the video, you could pinpoint little stuff. You should do it like this. Edit the clip a little bit more like this. You could point out a design. You could tell they didn't work on it hard enough because it's aligned with who you are.
Even for your birthday, when I was like, oh, maybe you should put your head right here, like in the edit. And you were like, maybe that's more for your brand. And it's because like we live in our actual brands. We live in what we do. Exactly. And that's why I don't think you necessarily have to be passionate, but you have to think strategically as a business person. If you are in a field, you have to know what are the metrics of this field. What are the do's and don'ts? What are the things that grow a business? What are the things that stop a business? That goes into studying the craft. That goes into you might have to work with your competitors. You might have to send somebody over there to go and get the experience. When I go into Whataburger, Jada put me onto that. That burger be good. That burger be slapping.
Go to Whataburger. Get the chicken sandwich. Honey barbecue. Take off the honey barbecue and put honey butter. Take off the
not
cheese.
The whole rundown. Hold on.
And get an extra side of honey butter. Don't forget that. I put you on.
Like, one thing I learned from them is their business is kind of dope. They almost up there with Chick-fil-A. Their lines be just as long as Chick-fil-A.
For sure.
And when I looked, I was like, yo, they got a fire system. I seen that if you just getting a sandwich, it say a la carte. If you getting a meal, it says, I forget exactly what it says, but basically a meal. You get the whole package of everything. Yeah. And so that's what I learned about when producing a product. How is your system set up? How is everything set up? You really got to pay attention to, because perception is everything. You don't want nobody to go back and say, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that. And our businesses are still growing. So there may be some people who say you are missing this, you are missing that. But once you get so in depth with your business and you know little by little, what's the metrics of this? What happens when, for example, your brand, what happens when I drop something that says God? People may ask, what God are you talking about? But you make it clear in your brand, I'm talking about Jesus Christ. In my brand, people may want to see, oh, how can I be? You know how many people ask me on a day, can you edit my reels? Can you do this? And I kind of got to turn it down because I just know you're not going to be consistent. I know you're not looking at it as being a brand. You're looking to do this for fun. I'm looking to work with content creators that's able to monetize off of it. Jada, you're not going to just have somebody in your pants and they're sitting in Walmart. The aesthetic that they're gonna be going to the Grammys, they're gonna be going to
that part.
BET Awards, award shows, all of that stuff. They're not gonna just be sitting around doing anything, but that's perception.
Yeah, and I'll say, I want us to go back to, I guess, personal perception versus your brand perception. And I feel like for me, I've spent like a good couple of years not matching my brand perception at all. Like back when my confidence was like below the ground and I really did like not care about myself at all. Care about how I carried myself. I would show up to my clients looking crazy. But I got this beautiful dress for you.
But I feel like,
but I'm looking crazy
in that season, because you show pictures of you younger still putting it on though.
Yes,
so it's still in you. You may have had that season, but it's still in you though.
Yes, it was still in me, but because I was going through it, I'm not showing up like how people expect. And that matters. Like, looking back on that, I be like, dang, you're showing up to a freaking client's fitting with a hoodie with a stain on it and your freaking ugly head wrap. Like, bruh, it's like, come on. If you're thinking like longevity, if you're thinking Gucci, when people are doing these big fittings with celebrities and things like that, they are not showing up looking crazy.
That's real.
Yeah.
And so I get that sometimes you could go through things. Like, I was going through things, so that's why I was like that. But it's important to not stay like that too long, especially depending on like what you do, or like and even when you think about this also goes along with, I guess, like personal perception versus like brand perception too, but your character as well. So say if okay, like consistency. It's almost like your brand has its own character, right? So if you show up every day on Instagram, people view your brand as consistent.
Yeah.
If you, regardless if you're a consistent person or not, if you only show up on Instagram to post once or twice a week or once a month or once every other week, people do not view your brand as a brand that it is consistent, So that's also determining, how are people viewing your brand? So even that, think about like, what are the values and like character traits that I want people to associate with my brand? Do I want them, if you want people to associate like honesty or like good service, good customer service, all these different things, if you want people to associate that with your brand, then what are you doing to get them to see your brand in that way? Like, I really feel like it's so much that goes into it. And even I think it's actually even more important for people who, like, if your personal brand is your brand, like you make money off of your face, like off of you, then that is also important as well. Like the perception of you is extremely important. So if you got some tweets from 2015,
go ahead and delete them.
Exactly. And
or just don't tweet them at all.
I mean, if you was a kid,
it's old,
like if you was a teenager tweeting some crazy stuff, then go and delete that, because that's even though it's like your past, people are gonna be like, oh,
this
well,
you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure. Even I was watching this interview with Angie Martinez and Janet Jackson, and she was asking her, does she have her hands in what goes out in the media of Janet Jackson, how she looks, her pictures, and all of that stuff? And so what I realized was Janet Jackson was saying that she has her hands in everything, and this was during her prime time, I think, where it was roughly in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
But she was saying that she has her hand in everything, from the music videos, the pictures that goes out, all of that stuff. Because when you think of somebody, you kind of, what we're saying is like building a formula. What's the formula of your business that makes it work? And how do people remember you, your name, image, and likeness during that time, your NIL? And so how do people remember you? What do they know about you that's uniquely defined for you? You could be a music artist. What sound do they know they're going to receive when they're listening to your music? You have a clothing brand. What do they know to be true about your clothing brand that's going to align with their morals, what they align with, how they live, all of that stuff. Graphics. They need to find, I hear people all the time, they say like they need a graphic designer that they know they can trust to present the idea that's in their mind. Because sometimes clients don't really know how to explain exactly what it is that they want. But if they give me a few ideas of what it is, I can kind of put something together so that way we can have a starting point. Whereas other designers, they need to just have you send a PSD file or send something that somebody else did so that way they can do it, and not knowing how to do things from ground up. I remember for a podcast, somebody had asked me, their designer wasn't sending the thumbnail pictures, and they were coming back blurry. So what I just did was I just mimicked the design and I made it for them, and they were like shocked that I didn't need any of the files, but I was able to recreate exactly what was created. Now, would that be what is the word called?
Integrity or no?
Integrity?
What word are you looking for?
I'm like copying. It's something to do with copyright.
Mimicking?
Like forward.
I was about to say
Forge, Zoe?
no. Well, I was about to say the wrong thing.
I'm crying. But
I
yeah.
was about to say foreplay.
Jada.
Your mind
What are you over there
is
thinking
on
about?
the wrong side.
Forge.
But
Yes. That can be forging somebody's work. That's the right word, though.
No, I don't think that's it.
we get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? That can be like duplicating somebody's work, and that can go into legal-
plagiarism.
Yeah, plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's the word. That can be plagiarizing somebody else's work, but you have to be able to be inspired and pull stuff. It should be no reason that I've had people ask me, "Oh, this one designer asked, can they use your file?" And I'm like, no.
Right.
You should know how to do that. That's just something that you should know how to do as a designer. If you know how to open up Photoshop and you claim you're a designer, you should at least be able to mimic something. I've been doing that since the beginning of the time, like being able to pull something and get inspired from it, and like know like, oh, this is what element they use, this is what font they use, and I can picture like all of that. Like I remember for a thumbnail, somebody was asking me the font, and it was like Monstrant or whatever it's called. And yeah, I was able to tell, and they were like, "Oh, this is the exact font," and I was like, "I know, because I know that part. Like this is what I do." So it's like just knowing your role and being an expert in it.
I agree. I guess to kind of wrap my points up, I kind of do want to touch on real quick, like if you have a clothing brand, like Jada was saying, know your values. What does your brand stand for, right? So if you want to be, also I want to say this real quick before I say the other point. I was going to say, like, you know how you were saying, Jada, you having your values, right? Having your values, right? I was going to say, like, there's some clothing brands out here that have the perception of being low integrity. If you go on their website, I'll say if you go on their Instagram, go through their comments, is where's my order at? Or, go on TikTok, is people saying don't shop from this brand. They don't have good customer service.
Where's your order at in the comments? I mean, you're not even responding to emails.
Listen, that's 99% of the clothing brand industry.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Like they low integrity. Like you get up there, but then it's like, can you handle, once you're up there, you can't handle all the orders. And not speaking from like, oh, I know everything, because I'm still learning, but just knowing that people want to know. So a part of my brand, I want to be a brand that's high integrity, so I'm gonna be in them comments responding if I do get them, or I'm going to be making videos, hey, we're backed up on orders. I'm going to communicate that because I want my brand to be seen as high integrity. Also, I want my brand to be seen as a clean brand. When you go to my website, it's not going to be choppy looking. It's not going to be slow. The colors aren't going to be everywhere. I'm not going to have blue, green, orange, and purple. Like, that's something that really gets me upset when I get on some people's websites, because it's like you have 2 different fonts, 5 colors. You got a watermark on the pictures on your website. So really cleaning up all of that stuff, because that stuff matters. Your brand is going to be seen as a local brand if somebody goes on your website and it's just everywhere. Like, have some type of unity going on your website, in your content. The CapCut watermark shouldn't be at the end of the video. Cut that out. You know what I'm saying? It's little stuff like that that just shows that you took the extra step in making sure that your stuff, your art, is perceived as a high level, a high brand. You may not be may not be luxury, but you want to be a high quality brand.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure.
Well, yeah, y'all. So that is the end of this episode, but we're about to get into our last segment or whatever. Make it make sense. I don't know why, just my brain went blank. Make it make sense, where we give young advice to Will we give young advice to adults?
Young advice
Will we give advice?
I ain't saying nothing because I don't know it.
to young adults growing through life.
Will we give advice?
I feel like I chopped it up
To
earlier
young
too. I'm not gonna lie.
There we go. Growing through life.
Yes.
Period.
So let's make it make sense. Where we give advice to
Young advice.
to young adults growing through. That's too wordy.
If you want some young advice, come to growing. No, make it make sense.
Make it make sense when we give advice to young adults going through life.
And we give young advice.
The way you got it, I'm crying.
So Jada got a question.
Which one y'all want to do?
Just pick one.
Let's do
Oh,
that
you know
one.
which one I want to do?
Let's do the other one that she don't want to do.
I already said which one I wanted to do.
The one you don't want to do?
The one I do want to do. I don't want to do the one I don't want to do.
Okay, so
Okay, let's do the one she do want to do.
okay, so someone asked. Let me pull it up. I think it was like, how do you grow your followers? On
Yo,
Instagram?
while Jada is looking at us, we are literally live on Instagram right now. You wouldn't know if you're not following.
Exactly.
Growing
Okay, what's the
Painz.
question?
What?
I'm going to our group message or whatever.
Come on, you.
Make sure y'all tap into our live.
Yeah, we're actually on live. We got 600 million people in there.
Okay.
Billion.
Oh, my fault.
So, how do I grow my following on Instagram?
Oh, that actually aligns. Now that I think about it, that aligns really well with what we're already talking about.
The other question I lied to.
No, it didn't. It's literally nothing we talked about on this episode. How to grow? Oh, this is my language. How to grow a community. I like
Biome.
saying community.
I said,
You said what?
I said bio.
Biome.
I'm playing. I'm joking.
I have a whole
We
bunch of
don't buy
bots.
followers over here. Oh, well, actually, can we start on the opposite end of this? On the bad way to grow followers?
Buying followers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, not buying them, but I think what we did was a bad way to grow followers.
What?
I feel like we have a lot of dead followers because we did all that
Oh, yeah.
repurposed content. Y'all not dead for real, okay?
Unalived.
Y'all not dead for real. Y'all know what we mean.
Yeah. So
Sleep followers, unactive followers.
Yeah, because we were posting the wrong type of content. So if y'all don't know, we on our Instagram page, we used to do like trendy videos that were doing good. Like we would find on TikTok and Instagram, just repost them. They were doing good. Like a video got like 1 million plus
So, like,
views.
2 million.
Yeah,
Couple
2 million
million,
views.
yeah.
We got followers from it, but they don't support the podcast.
At all.
So-
They just were waiting for more funny content like that.
Exactly. So if you want to grow an audience, be very intentional on what you're posting.
Exactly.
Because they're going to want more from that.
Exactly. And so you don't want to go viral for the wrong thing and start getting a bunch of
Exactly.
followers from the wrong thing, because then that's what they're going to expect you to keep up. So that is the bad way
Yeah.
to get a lot of followers.
And that actually reminds me of that one time Trey was gonna do you were gonna do a skit or something on your Instagram. I forgot
yeah.
it was a Jamaican thing or
No,
something.
he was going to do...
Oh yeah, and then remember you were like, Trey, I don't want to do that because I know people are gonna want more of that from me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out which one.
It's like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Nah, but the Keith Lee thing, it was funny of me holding my hands like this and doing the talking like this. But the only thing is, would your page have actually grown had you kept doing that? If I would have kept talking like Keith Lee and talking fast and doing the quick edits like that, would it have worked?
And if it did, they're only gonna want that from
Yeah.
you.
And I've actually made that
Exactly.
mistake with YouTube where, well, I won't say it was a mistake. I could have actually leveraged off of it. But the wave check video that I had, it gained over like 1 million views in a month or something.
Yeah.
And basically, I did a part 2, then that gained 100K views. And so people started wanting only wave checks on my channel. And I could have leveraged that because it wasn't a bad thing for me to do that. It's kind of how No Love Mar does the whole 20 men or
21.
20 women versus such and such.
Yeah.
And, you see how he made it into a series. I could have did that with the wave check. But it just depends on what direction you want to go. And before you create some content that you know has the potential to go viral, because we knew repurposing the content was going to get followers. But before you do that, just make sure that you pay attention on what you're doing, so that way if you know it's going to blow up, you know whether or not is this something that I really want to proceed with moving forward. And if it's not, then just find another way that's authentic to you.
That's real. I read one time in a book, win hearts, not eyeballs. So we want eyeballs through that content, not hearts.
Yeah.
So
We want some of y'all hearts.
Remember
Some
when we
of
used to do shout out for shout out to get followers?
yeah,
Don't say it like that
worked.
as if we were doing that for the podcast. You said that right after.
No, I'm talking. Okay, clearly we never did shout out for shout out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Talking about
said
back in the
right
day.
after.
back in the day on
understood.
our personal pages, we used to do shout out for shout out. Isn't that crazy? Posting all these people on your Instagram.
Well, I don't know who
screenshot.
we
Post
is,
them on
'cause I
my
ain't
story.
do it.
You ain't getting on the page.
Yeah, I ain't do that. I never posted you on my page. You was not
Page.
I probably posted a couple people on my page. Shout out for shout out.
That was you.
Like
All right. Next tip, I would say it's really the cliche stuff that be working, but being consistent. Listen, it's the cliche stuff that works. Being consistent. Keep your content. Well, I'll say have the mindset that your content is a TV show somebody watches. So when you stop posting, somebody's just gonna go to the next show. Social media moves fast. There's always somebody else that somebody could watch in the same niche as you. So knowing that, consistently show up for your community.
Yeah.
What y'all got?
So consistently show up for your community, grow your brand.
Be intentional.
authentically,
Yeah.
and be intentional about it. And what's the third one that we could give people about growing your followers?
I would say,
Yeah.
collabs work. I was gonna say something that I like to do for your post to get through the algorithm, it has to have some type of engagement. So likes, people rewatching the videos multiple times, people commenting, people sharing. So being intentional when you post, right? Because we said intentional in the type of content, but also the way you're structuring your content. So when you post, do you want this to get a lot of shares, likes, comments, views? If you want it to get a lot of views, you may not want the video to be 3 minutes long because people aren't going to watch it over and over. People have low attention spans. Also being intentional, saying comment this, because then when you say comment this, people are going to start commenting. Instagram or TikTok going to say, oh, people like this video, people are commenting, and they're going to push it more. Likes, you may want to say like this video if you want me to post more, or like this video if you like this type of content. So stuff like that, being intentional with the different ways that produces more engagement on your content.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Can I go? Okay, so the one point I'm sorry. The one point that I had was be intentional about the way each platform and the algorithm consists on there. The reason I say that is because this hook from DDG, the same way he would promote on YouTube is not the same way he promotes on Snapchat. What I learned about Snapchat, he goes about his whole day. Okay, I'm gonna just put it in forms of just being a content creator. On Snapchat, you could go about your whole day, and this is once you're monetized on Snapchat. You go about your whole day not posting content. It's at nighttime when you post all of your content. And when you post all of your content on Snapchat, you're not just posting and leaving a thumbnail to be whatever. You got to post the most engaging things. So how, for example, when you saw Queen of Clarence and you saw her stomach, you were like, oh, is Queen pregnant? I was like, no. But you had to go through the whole thing, the whole Snapchat in order to see it. For me, what I learned on Instagram, the first story post that I make for the day should be the most engaging. So that way people want to be intrigued to watch whatever is coming next. And that's what I've learned to do, to be engaging on my story for the times that I'm not posting on my Instagram feed. So I get a lot of engagement on my story. I think I was telling Jada yesterday that my story had got like 800 views, and then today it's at 1,000. And that's been like really working for me, just being intentional about the content that I post. The first story that I post, is it just a black screen, or is it something that showing what I'm doing for my business and things like that? Same thing for TikTok. The hooks in your videos, what's pulling people or engaging people the first few seconds of the video. If you're doing a public interview, you don't need to necessarily say, hey, what's your name? The person says their name. Just cut it out so that way it gets straight to the question. If the question is intriguing, add that part, or add the part of what the person says as the hook in the very beginning. And that's how you go about getting people's attention, because people have low attention spans.
Oh, can I add to that real quick? Please.
trying to get my food.
Okay. Like, well, because it pertains to what he was.
Well, you gotta wait.
Okay.
You can say it.
Okay, real quick. Just want to say real quick. Also, know that TikTok content is good for like personalities, real organic content. Like you could post a video on TikTok with your bonnet on or a do-rag on or you in pajamas. Like that's the type of stuff they want to see, real relatable stuff. Instagram is good for the aesthetics. So if you're doing an aesthetic vlog, day in the life, you may want to post. It does well on TikTok too, but like Trey said, playing with the algorithms, post that on Instagram. Just want to say that real quick.
I feel like you wanted to say more, but you like, let me stop. Go ahead, get your point out, beloved.
Okay, so from like a business perspective, I'll say I had set up my mini chat to like send people this link, and it had it automatically set up a mini chat like, well, anybody who you send this link, like it had it set up for they have to follow me to get the link. And I made a post. I'm really not thinking much of this post, but I made a post. It ends up getting like 36,000 likes. All these people are commenting to get the link. And it's like, oh, well, they have to follow me. So I got like at least, almost, probably, I know from comments alone, I got dang near like, let's say 800 followers. And then there was also people who just like the video who were following. But those people stayed following because like, oh my gosh, I love this one video I saw so much. They didn't have a problem following me. Like, well, one, they wanted the link, but also they didn't have a problem following me because they loved the content that they just saw. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that literally had just gave me like a whole bunch of followers unexpectedly. And so I would say that's like another, I guess, unconventional way. It's like, mini chat, but don't do it for random stuff. Like it was intentional what I did. So if you have something intentional, so actually I did this before. I saw this girl do something about like, it was like an old lady. It was like how to make your house even cleaner. And I was like, I want to know how to make my house even cleaner. And so then you comment and then you get the link for it and you have to follow her. But I didn't mind following her because I just knew she was going to post like more stuff that I was interested in. Exactly. So if you have something, if you're a business owner, say you have like a product you're about to launch or like a ebook or something like that, and you want to use like mini chat in that way to get like, what's the word? Get people coming in because of that lead magnet that also could bring you followers as well.
That's real. And my last point I want to say real quick is like the importance of being consistent and also being intentional with your consistency is because it makes your page sticky, right? So there's been so many times where I would go on like a viral piece of content where I'd be like, oh, this is so funny, or this is interesting. Go on their page and I see nothing else that is aligned with that video that went viral. I won't follow them. Had they have posted more content that aligned with what they went viral for, I would have followed them. That's why it's important on being intentional what you post, because it could scare away potential followers because you're posting how your Wednesday went when you're known for your organization skills, but you're posting something random like food you had on Wednesday. I'm not going to follow you because I see you're everywhere with your content. And that's how people think. That's really how people think. So be consistent on intentional content. It's going to make your page sticky, meaning, oh yeah, this person knows a lot about this, or this person is really funny because make your page be something that's binge worthy, that people just want to scroll through like all your content. Yeah.
Build a portfolio.
Yeah.
Of your work. You don't want nobody just seeing that one video, then they look on the rest of your page.
It's nothing else.
Yeah. So that was a great episode.
This was a great episode. Make sure y'all comment down below.
Marketing, strategy, content.
Perception.
And this emoji.
The devil hand emoji?
That is not no devil
That is a devil hand.
This means Houston.
Well, Houston hand is a devil hand.
No devil hand.
Do you know that, or you're just saying that?
I know it.
I don't know if you know that because if you Google it, it says it.
Exactly.
So you can
I'm just telling
I
y'all
love
what
you.
I
This
know.
is a sign language for I love you.
Okay.
I-L-Y.
Okay, comment that and comment perception.
Comment perception in the comments. Let us know what you think. We got some stuff coming up. You know, we finna put these two on a blind
I
date.
know the devil head now.
Jada.
Yeah.
It's different a little bit, but I know what you're talking about.
Trey don't care. He doing it.
I didn't. Don't say that. I don't
He
care.
literally just did it.
No, I did it. I
But
just
with
went
his
like that.
face- So this with his face towards you is Houston, but then if you flip it the other way, that's the devil. And then also your fingers have to be
Exactly.
touching
My
at the
fingers.
tip.
I'm doing the
But
Spider-Man.
not when it's touching. Not when it's
I'm
touching.
listening.
Not when it's touching down here. But when your tips are touching, yeah, that
Exactly.
it's
Nobody
making
was
the
doing
devil-
that.
Trey, you didn't even know that. Talking about something exactly.
Bruh, I was
Talking about
not
something
sitting there doing
exactly.
this. I don't praise the devil.
Yeah, we rebuked that.
Anyways, we putting these two on a blind date soon. So
All three of us.
stay tuned for that. We finna put Yanni on a blind date with a big man.
Who y'all think is gonna marry their blind date person? I
All
vote
three of
for
us.
Yeah, all three of us. We're all gonna be married.
Finna find my wife.
Yeah.
All right, let them know where they can find you. Don't let them know too much because your husband on the way.
Trey, you get on my nerves, bro. Okay, well, first follow the podcast, Growing Painz Pod on Instagram, so y'all can tap into these lives when we go live. Also, follow us on TikTok at Growing Painz Podcast. Stream on Spotify and Apple. And y'all can follow me, Yanni Bratcher, my clothing brand, Wise Label.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Roy Tre'Vion. My creative agency is Royalty Made It. You could get the dopest graphics over there. Top tier. Don't play.
Yeah.
And my name is Jada. And y'all can follow me at I am Jada Ellis. Don't forget the Y. And Jael Official. JAELL Official.
Get them Jael jeans right now.
Yeah, let's get it. Comment perception below. Yeah.
Bye, y'all.